Hi, brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm going to go ahead and make this video. I'm at work, but I haven't had a lot of free time, so while I'm able, I'm just going to make it. My brother, like I've said, if you watch my channel, he has gotten tons of warnings from the Lord about turning around. Like if he don't, he'll be in hell, or he's seeing himself go to hell, go to outer darkness, be turned away from like the gates of heaven. He's just had so many warnings. And just watching how God keeps continually talking to him, it's just showing me the heart of God. Like he's just so long suffering. But my brother, not too long ago, he had a dream. And I think in the dream, he got a date. And the date was like December the 14th of something. I don't know if it was of this year. I can't quite remember. But that's all he was focusing on. Like he said in the dream, he knew that Jesus was coming back December the 14th or something in the dream. But he said in the dream, I kept telling him, remember, no man knows the day and the hour. But he kept focusing on the date that he thought that Jesus was going to come back. But he said in a dream, I kept telling him, no man knows the day or the hour. And see, that was one dream. But he knew that Jesus was coming and he needed to get ready before that date. But it wasn't a guarantee that Jesus was going to come on that date. Just like so many of us who feel like he's going to come on all of the biblical feasts or whatever, but it's no guarantee because he can actually come today, tomorrow, or next week if he wants to. But my brother had a dream, and I wanted to share. This is another hell dream. He said in this dream, him and my mom was like in a room or something, and they felt an overwhelming presence that Jesus was about to come, and your whole eternal fate was about to be decided. So he said in the dream, they were in this room, and they were praying, they were repenting, and they were praying as hard as they could. And he said when he looked out the window, it was just a beautiful blue day. But he said in a dream, a girl came towards him. She came in the room. She was trying to tempt him lustfully, sexually, but he kind of brushed her off and he kept repenting. But like I said, this part of the dream, he said my mom was there with him repenting. But he said the next thing he know, my mom disappeared. He didn't see her anymore. And when he looked out that window of that room, he said he was in hell. And in the dream, he knew that he didn't make it. Like so many of his dreams keep showing him going into outer darkness, going to hell. And I feel like God is trying to warn him. He's trying to shake him. But my brother, I can tell he's not listening. He don't care, just like so many people don't care and they reject God. Like they care, but they don't care because you can't serve two masters. But anyway, let me get back to the dream. He said he looked out the window. And what he saw like these tall demonic creatures. He said they were taller than people, but I don't know if he said they were like gargoyles, but he said they were beating people. He saw people getting thrown into fire. He saw people getting tortured, like he knew he was in hell. He saw somewhat like the faces of people. I think some stuff was hidden from him, but he said he could just see them crying, like how the Bible talks about there would be weeping, gnashing of teeth. So I don't know if literal tears are coming out, but it's definitely possibly a wailing, a crying without tears coming out. He said, yeah, that's what he said. He saw people being tortured. Let me make sure. Thrown into the fire. He saw these demons whipping people. He said he saw one guy in particular, one young boy. And I know that you will reap like the sins of your flesh on earth in hell. So he said in hell, this boy's job was to haul like coals or something. And he said in the dream he thought it wasn't that bad. Even though the demon was whipping him while he hauled like the coals, he said in the dream it wasn't that bad. And then compared to what other people were suffering, he was just comparing it. And then he was like, well, in the dream he thought, well, he hoped that's what happened to him because that seemed like a lesser punishment compared to everything else that was going on. But he said it was horrific. He said it was really dark, but he had automatic knowing that he was in hell. So he had a glimpse of it. But to talk more on what he said about the boy, like knowing that that was his job. My stepdad went to the store recently with a coworker, and they asked the man, how was he doing? And the man said he's not doing worth a D, like the D word, the DAMN word. And the man said that he has stage 4 cancer. Basically, he's about to die. But without my stepdad or his friend asking, I'm going into another hell dream. So let me just clarify that. Without, which isn't my brother, it's just a random man that my stepdad met at the store. But the man just goes on to tell them that, well, I had a dream. And he said in the dream, he saw somebody go to heaven and he saw somebody go to hell. So my stepdad friend was like, well, that's a sign for you. You know, God is trying to warn you to get you ready. You see that you got a choice. But he said that the man just kind of cursed when he spoke to them and just said he don't give a D where he go. And he said, well, if I go to hell, I hope I get a job. Well, he hope he get a job down there. Just like I've heard people say, well, if I go to hell, me and the devil are going to be best friends. But it's no good job in hell. The devil ain't trying to be your friend. He hates you just as much as he hates Jesus. Anything made in the image and likeness of God, they're just ready to tear the shreds down there. But it's interesting that people actually do got jobs in hell, because my brother saw that they have certain jobs, certain things that they're required to do if they're not getting tortured. But it's nowhere that you want to be, especially for eternity. But I wanted to share those 2 hell testimonies with you. I've also heard people, including my brother, who have seen, like when my brother saw Jesus, he said he saw the nail holes in his hands. I met another girl at work recently who was telling me she had a dream where she saw Jesus. She saw like the crown of thorn marks on his forehead. She saw the nail holes in his hand. She saw somebody walking up to him in a dream, like she was standing by him in a dream. And she said she saw a person walking up to him in a dream, mocking, talking about, you're not real, you're fake, it's not true. And she said when he reached out his hand and he touched that mocker forehead, the marker basically fell over dead. The mocker, M-O-C-K-E-R, sorry, not M-A-R-K-E-R. But yeah, he fell over dead. And she said in that dream, Jesus just kept saying, when I tell you to run, run. And it was just going through different scenes, and she would see him again. And she said, he said, when I tell you to run, run. And she said she don't really know what that means. But I was like, the only thing I could think of was, I don't think her life is fully given over to God. I believe she's living in fornication with a man that she's not married to, but she's not fully surrendered. But I know in the Bible, it talks about the abomination of desolation. That's the only thing I can think of. And when the Bible talks about run, like run for the hills, don't even turn back to go into your home. I think that was a sign for a time to come. But God, like, just repeatedly put people around me that always tell me their dreams, even when I go to work. Like years ago, I was working at a nursing facility, and this African-American woman, she was telling me of a dream that she had. She said she saw the stars falling from the sky. And she said her and her children was running to the church because she knew that Jesus was coming. But she said that she didn't understand what it meant. But then I started telling her about Revelation, where it talks about how the dragon, basically his tail, the stars were cast to the earth, basically. And I remember when I was telling her about that, I had this supernatural feeling came over me. Like I helped her understand her dream because she just didn't know. Because not everybody reads the Bible. A lot of people profess to know Jesus and love Jesus, but most people in this generation don't. They don't even know what's in the book of Revelation. But I just wanted to share those dreams with you. And God's heart is so amazing, even to people who are rejecting him. Because these dreams, like, some people would be like, you're giving these men dreams in vain. But he's just so long-suffering. He's so loving, not willing that any should perish. Because these people they can't even comprehend what's going to happen when they die. Because God doesn't get any joy when, the unrighteous perish. Because he knows their fate. But it's amazing, like just seeing people reject him, between my brother, between that man that my stepdad saw at the store, between other family members that I know. I just see it so much that people who profess to love God, they openly just reject him, even unintentionally, sometimes not even knowing what they're doing. Like, I have a sister that's living in fornication, and we keep telling her, because she's been living with her boyfriend 3.5 years, and her boyfriend makes good money and she makes good money, but she was like, we can't get married because it's going to mess up my benefits, it's going to mess up my food stamps. But I'm like, y'all have the income that's more than what the government is giving you to even cover what you're losing. But people choose to live in sin. But I just wanted to share those dreams and those encounters with you, and God bless.